Hey, if you're a fan of the band Kiss, this video is for you. Now, Gary was here a couple nights ago and we filmed a bunch of videos for the channel. And we actually filmed one video where we talked about the Gene Simmons Roadie Experience, that you can pay to be his roadie for a day on his latest tour with the Gene Simmons Band. Now, we had intended to put that video live today, and then I got up and went to the gym this morning and saw all these news stories about how I actually saw, the first news story I saw was he had canceled his entire tour. And then I looked into it a little further, and it turns out that what he's done is he's postponed 17 of the 26 dates that he had scheduled. And so then I thought, should we still put out that video today like we were planning? And the answer to that question is absolutely yes. But I thought we should make a little intro to explain that when you're watching this video, why we didn't mention the fact that he'd postponed a bunch of his tour dates. And this is why, because we'd actually filmed this a couple days ago, but everything we talked about is still relevant. And the conversation actually, I think, was kind of funny. And it's always fun talking about Kiss. And so we think you're going to really enjoy watching this video where we have this discussion about that, the Roadie Experience. And so anyway, enjoy and cut to the video. Hey, if you're a fan of Kiss, or specifically Gene Simmons, this video is for you, because I think both of us saw this one in the news.
Oh yeah, it's been all over.
This one jumped out, and I thought, this is so Gene. Right?
It's kind of what I thought, like money grab. And dude, this has gotten good and bad press, right? And what we're specifically talking about is...
Yeah, so I'll read the headline. This is straight off of Blabbermouth. You can be Gene Simmons' roadie for a day for the low price of $12,495.
Well, my question is, how'd you come up with that number?
Isn't that interesting?
Like, I would be like, hey, for $5,000 or $10,000, like a round number. What's crazy is, Gene, you don't need the money.
Yeah.
We know you sold the catalog of Kiss for $300 million, with an M. Million is what...
For the Kiss catalog.
For the Kiss catalog, to the Swedish band that's got the avatars that I know you don't like. But, well, that's another topic. That's,
I don't hate the idea of the avatars. Actually, it's kind of interesting to me. It's that when I saw those images that they put out, the four faces...
Yeah, they've since,
I thought, you guys look
them.
Like, what? You picked the worst possible looking...
Well, it is a little crazy, but one thing, this is definitely connected, is that Gene, I've seen, because when I was looking this up again, I found another article in USA Today where Gene says, oh, no, the avatars, they're just a placeholder for something bigger and better to come.
Of course. I bet you're wondering what you get.
Yeah, what do I get for $12,495 as a roadie?
I'm going to tell you.
Usually, the way it works is you work and get paid. What the? This is the inverse. I'm paying to work and carry your bags? Like, what am I doing? Am I tuning your bass or guitar? I want to know. What am I getting for $12,000? And he's got like a 12 or 15, 20 city tour. Like, do the math. And how many of these roadies are you picking up?
How many of these roadies?
Is it one per show? Is it?
Dude, it's so funny. Why didn't people think about this 50 years ago? Because seriously, a lot of these bands could have probably got people
pay to play roadies. If you can tune a guitar,
dude, it's brilliant.
If you can tune a guitar, carry my stuff, and pay me $12,495, you're hired. Like, what? That is crazy.
Okay,
but,
man.
Hey,
okay.
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you.
Tell me. Let me ask you something. Is there anybody in you? We talk music all the time. Anybody that if you had $12,495 burning a hole in your pocket, and you can just say, you know what, I can be a roadie for this guy, alive or dead, who would that be for you? Like,
that's a great one. Who would it be, alive or dead?
that you would want to be the roadie
None of this.
for?
Who would you want to have lunch with? None of that crap.
I want to be the roadie.
Who would you want to be the roadie for?
Yeah.
That's brilliant, man. That's one of the most brilliant things I've ever heard you say.
Oh man, I'm just saying.
Because you like added a new like question for people on first dates. Because there was always, who would you like to have lunch with if you could pick anybody for no.
Yeah. All right.
Who would you want? That tells you more about
Lunch
the person. You forget because it's totally different than the lunch person.
Yeah.
You really get to know somebody. It's like you got $12,495.
I'm paying.
And you are following this person around, being their personal assistant, carrying their bags.
It depends. I don't know. Okay. I want to know what I'm getting for.
Okay. So if you're wondering what it is, I'm going to tell you now what you get for this. Kiss bassist vocalist Gene Simmons is offering his fans a chance to be his roadie for a day during his upcoming tour with the Gene Simmons Band.
Gene Simmons Band. Come on, man.
Simmons's $12,495 personal assistant and band roadie for the day experience is limited to one per show and includes the following perks.
Okay.
So really, if you had 4,900 and whatever it would be, you could do 2 shows, right?
Yeah. If you
have enough money, you can be a roadie for months. Okay. Here we go. Here's the list.
All right.
Number 1.
I'm doing math on my computer.
You will meet up with Gene and Gene Simmons Band's members early in the day, either at his hotel or designated location, to go over the band's show day schedule. You will be on the Gene Simmons team crew for the entire day.
Paint the slug stuff around. Set up the lights.
Hey, it gets better. It gets way better.
I want to know.
You will get a Gene Simmons Band crew member shirt and hat.
That's expensive shirt and hat. Go ahead.
You will get a Gene Simmons Band crew member VIP laminate. Now, notice they didn't put all of those in the same. They could have. I'm surprised they put the shirt and the hat in the same bullet instead of spreading them out.
Oh, there's bullet points here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You will have a meal with Gene Simmons at the hotel or backstage at the show. You will arrive.
I'm sorry. My mind is racing right now. Like, am I sitting across from Gene, or am I like, hey,
what does it mean?
Grab that can you just help yourself to anything on that like charcuterie board or sandwich over there, right? Grab yourself a bag of chips and a bologna sandwich, and we're good to go.
Okay. That's lunch. That's having dinner. What was it? It says you will have a meal with Gene Simmons.
Right.
At the hotel or backstage at the show.
Burger and fries.
We're not committing to a specific time. At some point.
Yeah.
Food will be involved.
Before or after.
And Gene Simmons will be around.
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay. You will arrive and load into the venue with the band. You will help the band set up for the show. You will hang out backstage.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
You will sit in on sound check.
Place? Need a glass of water? Go ahead. Does that sound okay to you? I'm sorry, I'm playing these out now. Gene Simmons
will bring. Oh, this is okay. This one's good.
All right.
Gene Simmons will bring you on stage during the show and introduce you. That's kind of cool.
That is.
Okay, I like that one.
All right.
That one's actually worth a couple of bucks.
Robert John Hadfield, thank you so much for paying $12,495 and
for me to say your name and act like I care that you exist.
Well,
bringing you up on stage. That's cool, actually, dude.
Thank you.
That's actually kind of cool.
Setting up the stage and being my roadie for the day.
What I'm asking myself in my mind right now is, have I given him already $12,495 in my life at some point? Probably. But that doesn't, obviously, but I'm just curious about if I were to cumulative. All right. You, blah, 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 blah. On stage. You will get a set list signed by Gene Simmons.
You help me play these songs. Thank you.
You can take. Hey, you can take photos throughout your entire experience. We're not going to take them for you. I mean, you're not paying that much, but you can take your own. You can take some pictures while you're.
$12,000 isn't going towards a photographer to follow you around, or videographer.
Okay,
I'll just go one step further. That if you want to hire us to video you and follow your ass around as you're a Gene's roadie, I'm in.
Dude, this works. I'm gonna read the next thing.
Okay.
So look, and I'm because look, we're in right now a video production studio. We have all the gear. All you need to get some great stuff.
For half that, I'll do it.
So yes, so that was the thing. So for 5,000, no, what was it? 12,000? For 6,000,
I'll do the math.
We will come now. But here, check this out. Listen to this because it works.
$6,247.50.
So for $6,247, we will come. Okay, here we go. You may bring one guest.
Robert John Hadfield.
You can bring somebody. I will bring a camera. You may bring, dude, you may bring not one, not two, not three, but 4 items for Gene to sign.
Oh boy.
But no instruments, parts, etc. I wonder what etc. is. I mean, I understand he doesn't want to sign a guitar, I guess, or part. What is a part? What is a part? No instruments, parts. Parts of instruments. Maybe what they mean is like a pick guard or something. No parts because you can put it back on the instrument.
Or put it on an instrument and say, this is an officially signed Gene.
Guitar, whatever, because you take something and he signs it. So apparently no. So parts of instruments, I'm assuming is what that means though. But you can bring
4 items.
Not 5.
4.
We have to draw the line somewhere. And it's 4, and the line is 4.
5's too many. 4 is the limit.
and
you gotta have rules, man.
Let's see. Oh, dude!
What's one of the other things?
This is good. Okay, there is a really good one.
All right,
Stage is good. This one I really like.
I help set it up.
And ...
to help set it up and stand on it with Gene and film myself doing it. Selfies along the way.
This is good. And you get a Gene Simmons Kiss Rehearsal-Used bass signed by Gene Simmons. That's cool.
That might be all right.
That's cool.
Is it one of his like signature, like one of those...
Wait. There is
Battle Axe?
There's one last... we'll get to that, but there's one last one.
Okay.
Tickets to the show are not included. Just so you know.
What? I'm working.
Okay. But it says Kiss Rehearsal-Used... Kiss, not Gene Simmons Band Rehearsal-Used. It says Kiss Rehearsal-Used bass signed by Gene Simmons. And I wonder if they thought this out ahead of time. Or what is a Kiss rehearsal bass? Because for example, when Paul Stanley, I don't know if you ever noticed this, but when he would break his guitar at the end of the show, he'd be playing a nice guitar through the show.
And then he'd trade it out.
But you'd see him kind of walk off to the back of the stage and then kind of do one of these things, and he comes out with a beater. The guitar that you can go destroy.
The Hondo.
The Hondo. Yes. It's the guitar that you can destroy.
Wasn't an Iceman Paul Stanley series with the, cracked mirror.
It was and what makes me,
cool.
what you wonder here is, first of all, what is a Kiss Rehearsal-Used bass? What qualifies as Kiss Rehearsal-Used? Does it mean that he and Paul were hanging out one day and he just kept playing a bunch of basses and says, "Hey, it was Kiss and I was rehearsing," or was he really rehearsing? It'd be interesting to find out what that means, because they do say that. It does not say Gene Simmons Band Rehearsal-Used bass. It says Kiss Rehearsal-Used bass. So if that's the case, and it's like a brand name, like he's playing like a brand name cool bass. Or did he think of this ahead of time and said, "Hey, when we're doing this last tour, I've got plans, and while we're rehearsing, Jerry here is going to be handing me a bunch of bass guitars that we're going to go through. So anyway, maybe there are a couple cool things in there.
Yeah, there are a couple cool things. I'm thinking like I'm doing the end of the road tour and I'm warming up, doing sound check. I got my rack of basses and now I have for every stop, now I have a storage unit full of slightly used basses.
But you have to imagine that on that last tour, because they're already doing things like that on that tour. Like you can buy the bass or something after the show, and I know you could do things like that. There were things they would sell. Yeah. And makes you wonder if they were thinking that through, going, hey, every time we do a stop, I'm going to bring in, because I've got Yamaha basses around here that cost like $200, but they're nice, they're decent. I play them, and I've got a few of them, and you can imagine him going, dude, you know what? I could just because I'm thinking ahead, I want to have a bunch of Kiss played basses for the rest of my life, hundreds and hundreds of them that I could say these were played, and then use them.
End of the road tour. But why didn't they just say that? Basses I've used in the end of the road tour, I'm having however many dates this Gene Simmons band tour is. It's not that many.
Kiss rehearsal-used bass. I guess I'm being a tiny bit pessimistic about this whole thing.
To me, I would think that the press on this, because it'd be cool if it was like a contest. I think what throws me off is the fact that somebody's paying for that. As a contest, anybody in the Kiss Army, anybody that's a Kiss Simmons fan, or Kiss fan for that matter, can sign up and do it. $12,000, $495 on top of that, kind of makes it a little sour for me, because it's now like, I'm a working stiff. I'm a blue collar guy. I never had that kind of money. To me, that just alienated me and put me in the white collar crowd that, Joe Stockbroker or some dude that hit it out of the park in the .com era is now like, I'll sign up for that. I'll do the Salt Lake tour date.
I wonder sometimes with Gene if he does some of these things because he can. To make a point.
Paying for this? I want to see. I want to see the picture and the people that are signing up for this.
Hey, you will, because guess what?
Yes,
they get to take as many pictures of themselves. No, as many as you want.
Although you did make the claim that for 6,000 whatever we said, the half, you could be the plus one.
We got all the gear.
The plus one.
I'm actually a decent photographer. Give me a call.
Yes.
I'll be your plus one.
And
with Gene Simmons band.
Completely do a video diary of your.
I will
Gene
document
Simmons.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Share it on our channel if you get
and we'll
that
put
call.
it right here. We'll show everybody your thing. That's awesome. And you know what? If you do it, God bless you. I've got nothing against people doing it. It's because whatever, that's cool. It's just getting to your point. When they don't need the money, then you really do start to wonder, because especially when somebody spends their entire life saying what? It's about what? It's about the fans.
Yeah.
You guys are our bosses, and that's why you're paying us.
And the fans, girls, and obviously money at the end of the day.
Yes. Flip those around, and then you have the correct order.
Right?
Exactly. So it is where, like I said, there's some of these things, and we're knocking them a little bit. I'm a Kiss fan forever, whatever. What do you do about that? But I do wonder sometimes if he does these things just because he can, and he's like making a point, and it actually even puts him in circles that
maybe it puts him, because obviously this has been newsworthy. It's and that's why we're talking about it, right? It's been on quite a bit of different news channels. It's been kind of mainstream, because a lot of people are like, dude, what the hell? Almost like that story at the end of a newscast back in the day would be like, Oh, and you
personal
too.
interest.
Yeah, and you too. Would you like to be the Kiss roadie? You pay $12,000. What do you think about that, Jan? Cool idea. Great idea, dude. You're too old. Is that what you're saying? You're too old to be your own roadie, and you're beyond that. So now I can pay to play, show up and be that guy, and then get all these perks. Like, I just think if they had a kind of like a contest, hey, I'm playing X amount of shows, you can sign up. That would be a more positive Kiss Army, all-inclusive. Anybody that John Doe can be a winner. Instead, John Doe with $12,495.
Yeah, because it'll never be John Doe with that. And part of the logic behind this, I think
maybe there's a money piece. Maybe the money piece is to weed out.
I was just going to say that the strategy
fans.
there is.
Yeah.
If you have somebody that has that kind of money and is willing to do it, your odds of having a
like Joe
successful
Dirt show up with the mullet and be like,
that's right, dude. Yeah, your odds of having somebody that is a fairly well-off normal guy that has a job and used to be a Kiss fan, would just love to hang out with Gene for the day, and is normal. Your odds of that go up dramatically.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And that's probably what, instead of doing the other stuff, it's like, you know what? It is about the fans. I don't know. I'm twisting a little bit, but this makes sure that people get to do it.
I'm just putting that out there. I mean, maybe there are some things. As much as I want to have a how happy, kumbaya with Gene for anybody, you and I, to be able to do it. I would see. Look, this is coming from a kid. True story. Me and my friend Mike Feeney, my neighbor, best friend growing up, we went one time. I was working in New York City, and I went to the Kiss offices. They have the address on like their albums and stuff.
Yeah, like a coin management and. Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah. So the Kiss office. We went to the building, got in the elevator, went up to the floor that they were on, went out there. Kiss logo outside the door.
Wow.
That's as far as I got. Because, it was closed, knocked. I mean, it was probably appointment only. When we look up, this kid's just messing around. Hey, why don't we go to the Kiss offices? All right. Drive over there. Not just because we're fans, you know what I mean? But I say that at the same time. I mean, what if I was like a psycho crazy deranged fan?
Yeah.
And think, Gene Simmons, the demon, is ruining my life, or people that tried to sue Ozzy and all that kind of crap. Yeah. I mean, I got a little dark there, but
but the point is,
there might be some strategy.
There's some logic behind this.
Yeah. So maybe, Gene, you are smarter than the rest of us. Yeah.
Okay, if you're crazy enough to have sat here and listened to this entire thing,
I want to hear if you're crazy enough to pay the $12,495.
And we want to hear about that too.
And if you have it.
If you did it. If you've done it. And not disparaging either. Like I said, God bless you if you do it. Because I actually think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, if you hit it out of the park and you got that money to go and you want to hang out with Gene,
pretty awesome.
And have food with them.
It's cool.
Carry your stuff and get a bass and be on stage.
And get a bass and
get recognized. That's cool.
It's cool. Anyway, yes. So either way, this would be a great time to follow the channel. Click and like the video. And you certainly, if you've been here this long, have something to say about all this.
Yeah.
So please put that down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And with that, have yourself a fantastic day.